She's not there? Okay. I'm gonna go on the record real quick. Yeah, okay. The time is 8:33, and I'm going on the record. I'm Christian Waugh. I'm just briefly calling the Citrus County Boat Launch hearing to order. I'm doing so just to put on the record that I'm going to wait 2 more minutes for witnesses for the county to appear. We do have a respondent present, so he's on time, and I think it's only fair to call his case on time. However, after that case, if the county's witnesses still are not here, we'll go into recess and wait for the witnesses. All right, we'll be in recess for 2 minutes. All right, the time is a little past 8:35, and I'm going to bring this hearing back to order. We follow an agenda in these hearings, and so the next item on the agenda is the pledge of the flag. I'd like to ask if you join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Okay.
If any person decides to appeal any decision made by the Code Compliance Special Master with respect to any matter considered at this public hearing, he or she will need to ensure that a verbatim record of the proceedings is made, which record shall include the testimony and evidence upon which the appeal is to be based.
Is there a staff update?
No update at this time.
All right. And the next item on the agenda is the adoption of the meeting minutes from September 8th, 2023. And I believe that's a hearing I was not at. Okay. And those minutes have been formulated. Have they been reviewed by the alternate special master? Yes. Oh, and he signed them. Okay. Then since it is on the agenda at a public hearing, I'll ask if there are any comments or proposed modifications or objections to these minutes as currently formed. All right, I hear no objections, so I'm going to go ahead and approve these minutes. I mean, I'm not going to approve them. We're done with them. All right. Thanks. So I think the next item on the agenda is to call the cases. And the reason why I'm doing this is we have someone who actually did show up for the hearing, and I think it's only fair to call that hearing up. So are you guys ready?
We are ready.
I believe it's Mr. McCormick.
That's correct. Case number 7, Jonah McCormick.
Yeah, well, let's call a case. So it's Jonah McCormick, and it's case number 7 on our agenda. Mr. McCormick, can you come up and we'll swear everyone in?
Francine Nobles,
Both of them at the same time.
both of them at the same time?
You can.
Okay, great. Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you shall give to the court in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
And sir, just could you put your full name on the record in the microphone?
Jonah Ellison McCormick.
Okay, and let the record reflect that he took the oath. Thank you.
And for all cases today, we do have universal exhibits. They A, B, C, D, and E are on posters behind for everybody to view. For exhibits B, C, D, and E, we have B1, C1, D1, and E1, which is a close-up of the location of each of the cameras at each launch. And they are pre-marked.
All right, let me see if I can understand that. Is that anything different than what you normally do?
It's the same thing we did last time.
Well, you mentioned B1,
Yep.
C1.
Yes, those are the close-ups of the ramps.
Oh, I
for the
see. Okay,
photos.
so let me see. So exhibit A is on the poster board over there.
Yes,
Exhibit B is on the poster board. And then there's B1, which shows what?
the close-up of the location of the camera for
I
the
see.
launch.
Okay. This is a photo of where the... All right, so what I'm going to do is, let's see. Let me see what I'm going to do.
Would you prefer it be composite B, C, D, and E?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to renumber these for the record, not as B and B1, but a composite B, not C and C1, but as a composite C, not D and D1, but as a composite D, and not E and E1, but as a composite E. Now, Mr. McCormick, what's going on is that the county is introducing these as proposed exhibits in your case and in every case that I'm going to hear today.
Right.
I'm not exactly sure the location. What's the location of Mr. McCormick's case?
Fort Island Gulf Beach.
Okay, so that would be C. So the relevant exhibits for your case basically is composite exhibit C. They have a map of the boat ramp basically, and also a close-up of where the cameras are at that location. Do you have any objection to that being evidence in your case?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you had a chance to look at this? I mean, do you care to look at it?
I haven't really looked at it other than this lady had pointed out the maps
Okay.
a few minutes ago.
I mean, I'll show it to you
Oh,
just so that you're aware. I like for people to be informed about what's going on. So this is no different than the poster board over
Right.
there. And that's the first page of the exhibit. And then this one is they've circled where the cameras are.
Right.
There's a one-way sign, and you could match it up over there to see where it is. Do you recognize this? I mean,
No, sir. Never
okay,
been there.
all right. You have any reason to believe that's not an accurate depiction of where the cameras are?
None whatsoever.
All right. All right, then I'll let I will admit Exhibit C for this case, and we'll take up, as well as at Exhibit A, and we'll take up admitting them for all cases after this. Those are the only ones relevant for this case, so we'll just do it that way. All right,
Okay.
please proceed.
Case number 7, 9205187 is the notice of violation number. On June 4th, 2023, a person in a vehicle with Florida State tags number KVRE93 was recorded by surveillance cameras launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Gulf Beach. Records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by respondent Jonah McCormick. A notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear here today at this continuance hearing, November 7th, 2023. The county had not heard from the respondent regarding this notice of violation, and the respondent has not paid this launch fee. This would be a first violation, administrative fine in the amount of $50, with a possible administrative cost due of $24.91. Premium Parking has provided exhibits F indicating the license plate and the respondent's information, as well as a composite F of the continuance that was sent for the notice of violation.
This was originally set for another hearing.
Correct.
Okay. Mr. McCormick, did you appear at another hearing?
No, sir.
Okay.
I received the information in the mail.
Okay.
Along with that information, it gave a customer service number that I could call if I had any questions. So I called, and the person that I talked to explained to me that I needed to submit the information that I had showing that it wasn't me that parked the boat. I had sold the boat prior to this taking place, and they told me to submit a copy of the bill of sale, which I did it online, and I have it on my phone where I submitted the information and that they responded back that they had received the information and said that they would respond within 72 hours.
When was that?
This was on June 5th of 2023.
Okay. So 5 months ago, 4 months ago.
Along with the information that I sent, I explained to him that on May 22nd, 2023, I had sold the boat to Miller Marine in Ocala, Florida. And
Well, let me cut to the chase then. I mean, are you saying you are not the person who used the
Right.
launch?
where I made my mistake was Miller had called me up. I had talked to a salesman there and asked him if they would be interested in taking the boat and selling it on consignment. He said they no longer do that. A couple of weeks later, the salesman calls me back and said that Miller's was ready to make an offer on my boat and wanted to know if I could drop it off. So I went and dropped it off. They kept it for about 2 weeks, contacted me and said they were ready to make an offer on it. they wanted time to go through it and see what it was valued at.
Yeah.
So I went in, they made the offer, I accepted, and they gave me a check for the boat, and I walked out. I forgot to take the tag off the boat.
Mhm.
That was my mistake. They sold the boat then, and then they didn't take the tag off.
Well, so
So-
let me ask a question. So when was the date of the alleged violation?
This occurred on June the 4th was the actual launch.
Okay, so 10 days or so after the boat was sold?
Well, the boat was sold on May,
20,
Yeah, I believe he
Yeah,
said
May
May
20th
26th.
Okay.
2023.
Yeah, May 22, 23.
I don't know how admissible the evidence is anyways, but would you mind allowing me to take a look at your exhibits F and G?
I
Actually,
also,
I do know how admissible they are, but could I take? Thank you.
I also have the bill of sale if you want to look at it.
I might, but I doubt it. Let me just take a look. So you sold the trailer with the boat?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Is that common when you sell a boat, that it comes with a trailer? Or?
Not necessarily, but most of the time it is. As in my case, I had no reason to keep the trailer, so.
Okay. I appreciate you letting me, Ms. Nobles, I appreciate you letting me review these. Okay, well, that's all right. Mr. McCormick, your case is dismissed.
Thank you, sir.
All right, good luck.
Do I need any verification? Because this is the second time I'm having to deal with this, saying that there's no further action.
When
That it's
cases have been
settled or-
dismissed or denied, do you issue?
I'll take care of this. He did show me where he did put the appeal in to
Oh.
premium.
Okay,
I can assure I will get with premium
Okay.
and I will make sure that this is completely voided from the system.
okay, I understand. Well, I'm not going to say anything further. I'll let y'all figure that out, and good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time.
And I
Um,
apologize to Mr. McCormick for the time that this has taken,
That's
and he
okay.
did try to resolve. So,
I appreciate you saying that. So how does the county, would the county want to go into recess? Does it plan on having a witness from Premium Parking show up?
if we could, I've been getting a couple of phone calls, so I
Okay.
should be able to get a status update.
All right,
if
okay.
you-
The time is 8:47. We'll be in recess for another 15 minutes. Unless I hear something, we'll check in. All right?
Thank you.
All right. The time is 9:45 and we're back on the record.
Case number 17, notice of violation 9349202. On July 1st, 2023, a person in a vehicle with Florida State tags number BB77WJ was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Trail Park. Records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle is owned by respondent OTWA Inc. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent certified mail, directing the respondent to pay the launch fee or appear here today at this continuance, November 7th, 2023. Currently, the county has not been contacted, nor has this notice of violation been paid. This would be the respondent's first violation within 6 months. It could result in an administrative fine of $50 and administrative cost of $24.91. Premium Parking has provided Exhibits F of the respondent's information, tag information, along with Composite F, where the notice of violation was resent notifying of the continuance hearing. Composite G, the tracking indicates it was delivered and left with the individual. And Exhibit A shows the actual launching of this vessel at the Fort Island Trail Park boat ramp. If Premium could verify this information, please.
These exhibits, F, G, and H, are a record of premium parking showing the details surrounding the violation of the individual, as well as verifying their personal information with a copy of notice of violation that was sent to the individual certified mail with proof that it was delivered. And this record was made at or near the time of the event occurred by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge. And this record is kept in the ordinary course of business activity at Premium Parking. And it is a regular practice of Premium Parking to make these records.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this case? I'll let the record reflect there is no response. Okay, exhibits F, G, and H are admitted as evidence. And actually, let me just see one thing. Okay, and unless the county has anything else, I'll assess I'll find Otwa Inc. in violation and assess the first-time fine of $50 along with administrative costs.
Case number 18, notice of violation 9232081. On June 9, 2023, a person in a vehicle with Florida State tags number PCUY12 was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft at a county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Gulf Beach. Records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by respondent Robert Luscombe. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent and certified mail directing respondent to pay a launch fee or appear here today at this continuance hearing November 7, 2023. Currently, the county has not heard from the respondent, nor has the launch fee been paid. This would be the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period, which could result in an administrative fine of $50 and an administrative cost of $24.91. Premium Parking has provided Exhibits F of the respondent's information along with Composite F that the respondent was sent the notice of violation informing them of this continuance hearing. Composite G is the tracking information indicating that the notice of violation was delivered and the individual picked it up at a postal facility. And Exhibit H indicates the vessel was launched at the Fort Island Gulf Beach ramp. If Premium could verify this information.
These exhibits F, G, and H are a record of premium parking showing the details surrounding the violation of the individual as well as verifying their personal information with a copy of notice of violation that was sent to the individual, certified mail with proof that it was delivered and this record was made at or near the time of the event occurred by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge, and this record is kept in the ordinary course of business activity at Premium Parking, and it is a regular practice of Premium Parking to make these records.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this case? Let the record reflect there is no response. Okay, exhibits F, G, and H are admitted as evidence, and I'll find Mr. Luscombe in violation of the ordinance, assess a first-time fine of $50 along with administrative costs.
Thank you. Case number 19, notice of violation 9353163. On July 1st, 2023, a person in a vehicle with Florida State tag number 76BZET was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Trail Park. Records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. Records reflected the vehicle was owned by respondent Shane Height. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail directing respondent to pay this launch fee or appear here today at this continuance hearing November 7th, 2023. County has not heard from the respondent, nor has this launch fee been paid. This would be the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. This could result in an administrative fine of $50 and administrative cost of $24.91. Premium Parking has provided Exhibits F of the respondent's information, along with Composite F, indicating that the continuance notice of violation was sent. Composite G is of the tracking that it was delivered and left with the individual, as well as Exhibit H indicating this vessel was launched from the Fort Island Trail Park ramp. If Premium could verify this information, please.
These exhibits are F, G, and H are a record of premium parking showing the details surrounding the violation of the individual as well as verifying their personal information with a copy of the notice of violation that was sent to the individual, certified mail with proof that it was delivered and this record was made at or near the time of the event occurred by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge, and this record is kept in the ordinary course of business activity at Premium Parking, and it is a regular practice of Premium Parking to make these records.
Is there anyone from the public who wants to be heard on this case? Let the record reflect there is no response. Okay, so just a question. On page 1 of Exhibit F, it has a picture and it says license plate 76BZET. Is that the license plate of
The trailer.
the trailer?
Mhm.
No, because the trailer on the next page it says license plate recognition PWR W45. Oh, you're right. So 76B ZET is the trailer. Then what is that license plate recognition? Is that for the vehicle on the next page?
One
That
second.
shouldn't be, right? I mean, shouldn't it?
I believe Premium's trying to get to that page in their documents so they can see what you're seeing.
Yeah, give me one moment.
No, it's okay. I'm just talking to myself. So it's
So you're talking about the license plate recognition,
Yeah, I'm
where it has PWR W45?
right.
And I would believe Premium can speak a little bit more to that, but I believe they do different verifications. You know, that's why they have a person verifying. They go in and,
And you're right. It is free to park there, but sometimes the camera will pick up on their actual car license plate instead of the boat trailer tag.
Right.
I see that. Yeah.
That's what I was wondering. And I can't tell from Exhibit H what the plate on the truck is.
Right. It's too far away.
Well, I bet with your cameras, if you wanted to zoom in on it,
For sure, we
Yeah.
can zoom in on that picture.
but let me see. So P. Well, see, and that license plate recognition says 605, and Exhibit H says 910 and 911. It's the same day. Well, one is AM and one is PM. So is this even? It does, they both say Ford Island Trail. The time of the violation, that's interesting. So the time of the violation on the notice says 6:01 PM, which matches the time on page 2, but not in Exhibit H, which says 9:10 AM
Is a totally different time of launch. Where's your launch?
and a different plate.
Yes, I do.
Totally different time.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure this out. There's no doubt, I mean, I can see. I guess I'm a little scared here because it looks like your Exhibit H doesn't match, first of all. It just doesn't match. Now, I could eliminate Exhibit H, but you've told me that it's accurate.
Right.
And I also have a different plate here on page 2, and I accept the representations by Premium Parking that it's capable of picking up another plate, but there's really no explanation or confirmation here. I can't figure it out. Let me think about this for a second.
Can Premium pull it up on their computer system to see if that can provide any clarity?
Sure, give me one second.
Wow, we were in the home stretch too. I read the stupid documents, and I just.
It's-
I'm joking.
May I connect to the BOO or BOCC public?
Yeah, I mean, if you're willing to risk it,
Or to
it's
the,
the public
Is it the
Wi-Fi.
public
You
domain? Do
should
you need a
survive.
password
You'll
or
probably
not?
survive.
No password. Give me 1 second.
Well, and I got told yesterday that apparently something in the building went down and Verizon doesn't work in the building any longer.
Yeah,
So,
it hasn't worked for
I
me.
had to step outside to make that call. I was surprised I was receiving it, but I
Yeah,
had to.
Verizon hasn't worked for me in here in a while, actually.
So there's the time of launch. But according to this, they launched at night.
Yeah.
This picture does not match.
Yeah, there's-
What's it called,
Because time
FirstNet?
of violation.
Yeah, I have Verizon, and yesterday I tried to, because usually I just hotspot off my Verizon for
Yeah.
the service.
Doesn't match
And-
the picture.
Yeah.
Could not do
Because
it in a
this is
meeting I
when
had
it
yesterday
launched,
at
and
all.
it's showing that- it's
Yeah, the
showing
last
a
couple
violation
meetings I've
when
had
he
to, or
was
hearings
coming
I've had to
back out.
connect to the Wi-Fi.
This is when he left. So he came out of the water at 6:01, but he went into the water at 9.
Oh, that's interesting. So you're saying that it went in, it might have gone in at 9 a.m. and come out
You're not
at 6? No, I mean, it says, well,
Well,
you might be right.
correct, because people can launch daily.
Yeah.
And so when they come back, it may be a different time of day.
Yeah,
do we-
no. Yeah, it could, absolutely. So that could explain the time. It would not explain why Exhibit F shows the later time, because supposedly you guys pick it up if once the launch goes
The
and it's
sec-
unpaid.
The second license tag number that you had observed on the second page, what was that one again? P what?
PWR W45.
Okay, you have to testify that you can verify that.
And I can verify that that is the truck that the boat launched from. That is their actual license plate.
Okay.
How
How can you verify that?
Through the NPS website, with a picture blown up of the truck's license plate.
You've blown it up on your computer?
Correct. I've been able to zoom in and see that it is the truck's license plate.
I agree based on my own inspection. I mean, I feel like I can make out some of the numbers from the grainy photo. But it still doesn't explain to me why y'all didn't pick up upon the launch. Your Exhibit F picks up the violation apparently upon the exit.
And at times, this is me coming from corporate premium parking. If the system was down, it may have taken a while to actually record it and report back to NPS. So that's something. System issues is a thing that we do deal with NPS. So I'm not quite sure of this date, just being honest, but there have been times where violations were recorded later than the actual launch actually happened.
Okay. but then the record would not have been made at or around the time that the violation occurred.
That is correct.
At or around the time of the day of the,
Of the day.
or the date of, not the time.
There we
Yes,
go.
the date.
At or
There we
around the
go.
date of the
There we go.
violation.
Trying to buttress the records.
At this point, the county would argue that the information that you have been provided can show that they launched that day, that photographs were taken both in the morning and in the afternoon, showing that they utilized the launch throughout the entire day, and there is enough evidence to show that they have violated the
The
county's
county
code.
can argue it, but the evidence that's now been argued by Premium Parking is that the system might have been down. And so the violation itself might have occurred at 9 a.m., might have been recorded at 9 a.m., but only picked up as a 6 p.m. record. So
And that's still within the same day, and
um,
I don't believe statute requires it to be the exact second that it occurs, or case law, the exact second that something occurs. For example, somebody could have an interview and then note it later in the day, and it's still at or near the time the events that are being recorded there. I'm unaware of any case law or anything that says it has to be instantaneous.
I agree. I don't think that back when the business records exception was created that many records were created instantaneously. So I think that's a logical deduction. Yeah, and I do think what happened was I think the cameras picked it up twice on entrance and exit because the photo on the page 1 says like 8 p.m. Or maybe that says 6 p.m. Yeah, it's 6 p.m., right? Okay. And that's consistent with page 2. But page 1 and page 2 don't show a launch. They show that the boat is being picked up. Exhibit H shows the launch. I'm trying to reason this through. If the testimony is sufficient, because there is no read.
Exhibit H at later time.
There is no read on the launch. There's no read at all on the launch. But there is Exhibit H.
And we would argue that H is the launch at this point,
I
and
bet,
the
yeah.
F and G are for notification and identification purposes.
I'm dismissing it. I mean, I'm tempted. I'm really, really tempted. It's just, you don't have evidence of the launch in terms of the read, and that's critical from the records custodian evidence that you need to prove the case. It's just not here for the launch.
Okay.
So I found it on all the others, but I can't do it on that one. All right.
Our last case here today, case number 20, notice of violation 9359489. On July 2nd, 2023, a person in a vehicle with Florida State tag number 41CEED was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at McRae's in Homosassa. Records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle, and the records reflected the vehicle is owned by respondent Stephen Stallone. Notice of violation was sent to this respondent, certified mail directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear here today at this continuance hearing, November 7th, 2023. Currently, the county has not heard from this respondent, nor has the launch fee been paid. This would be the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period, which could result in an administrative fine of $50 and administrative cost of $24.91. Premium Parking has provided Exhibit F with the plate trailer information, along with the notice of violation that was mailed out of the continuance hearing for here today on Composite F. Composite G does indicate that it was delivered at the front desk, reception, or mail room. Exhibit H that was provided by Premium Parking of the boat at the launch, showing the launching at 9 a.m. or 8:57 in the morning, which in this case, with the information that's been provided, the time of violation on the notice of violation was on the same day. However, the information we have is for 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon, and the Exhibit H is showing a launch that occurred at 8:57 in the morning. And if Premium could verify this information.
All right, these exhibits F, G, and H are a record of premium parking, showing the details surrounding the violation of the individual, as well as verifying their personal information with a copy of the notice of violation that was sent to the individual, certified mail with proof that it was delivered, like they said, to the mail room. And this record was made at or near the time of the event that occurred by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge. And this record is kept in ordinary course of business activity at Premium Parking, and it is a regular practice of Premium Parking to make these records.
Is there anyone from the public who wants to be heard on this case? Let the record reflect that there is no response. One time at a code compliance hearing, I said that the county had successfully dodged all the bullets, meaning all the questions that I had in a case. And the code compliance officer said, "Is that our job to dodge bullets? Is it your job to answer?" Do you remember that? Do you know what I'm talking
It
about?
must have been before my time.
It was. But that's a very fun memory. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Exhibits F, G, and H are admitted as evidence, and unless the county has something else, I'll find that Mr. Stallone is in violation and assess the first-time fine of $50 plus administrative costs.
Thank you.
All right. Does the county have anything else that it wants to put on the record at the hearing, or any questions, concerns? Okay, then we've reached the end of the agenda. The time is about 10:13, and this hearing is adjourned.